Hi cuties, and welcome to another day of Litmas! Today's video is going to be long and I apologize for that. So if you've got something to do, you can just put me on in the background because it's going to be cozy, but it's going to be saying a lot of book names. And that is because I have been working on unhauling a lot because I'm revamping my life. I'm downsizing everything, and I have pulled every book off my shelves that I have access to through my library's audio app, through Libby, basically. And we are listing those books on Pango as we speak. Actually, by the time this video comes out, they should all be up there, but there's literal hundreds. And we have downsized now. I now only have these shelves to be actual like TBR shelves. The rest are all these books down here and the ones that are on these shelves currently. We're going to basically see who made the cut. Now, I do have access to some of these on Everand, but Everand's library rotates too frequently for me to be able to gauge like, oh, okay, I'm going to have this for a long time. So I didn't pull any off that were from Everand. But most of these predominantly I don't have access to any audiobook unless I were to like do Audible or something. And I don't want to do Audible. So, we are here. This is what I can find, for free without spending a lot of money using through my library. Trying to downsize because I'm probably going to have to move by the time my lease runs out here. And moving with all those books was a nightmare before. And yeah, and also we're trying to raise some funds because the world is a nasty, nasty place out there, and I perpetually am just like in debt all the time, and I would like to try to crawl out of a little bit. So I'm going to sell my books, and hopefully that will help pay off a few other debts, and get me out of this situation that I found myself in for years now. So if you are in search of some of these books, go check it out on my Pango shop. It's linked below. And if you've never used Pango, I am a Pango ambassador, so you can use the code QWERTY5 to get $5 off your first order of $10 or more. Random plug there. So today's video is going to just be showcasing who I have left to read on my shelves, though some other caveats. I kept every book that was gifted to me. I kept all my indie books, and I've kept my Fairy Loot subscription books, just because if I do love them, I want to keep those editions. And if I don't like that book after reading it, I will sell it. So those are kind of the ones I've done. Let's take a look. So just grab yourself a nice beverage, cozy up, and listen to ASMR Q. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do ASMR, but we're just going to kind of go through everybody, okay? Cool, let's do it. On this shelf, these top shelves are all the series that I'm currently in the middle of reading. Sanctuary for Seers by Kathleen Baldwin. This is the final book in the Strange House series. Suns Will Rise by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. This is the third book in the System Divine, which is a Les Mis retelling in space. Castle of Wizardry, Magician's Gambit, and Enchanter's Endgame, all by David Eddings. King of Fools by Amanda Foody. Blood for Blood by Ryan Groudon. Half Lost by Sally Green. The Demon World and the Burning Kingdoms, both by Sally Green. Paris Dalencourt is About to Crumble by Alexis Hall. Forest Mage and Renegade's Magic by Robin Hobb. These are the two books in the Soldier Sun trilogy. The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa, which is the final book in the Blood of Eden trilogy. To Skin a Wolf and Of Life and Death by A.L. Kessler, which are two books in the Here Witchy Witchy series. Paladin's Strength and Paladin's Hope by T. Kingfisher. The Death and Life of Zebulon Finch, Volume 2, Empire Decayed by Daniel Kraus. Master of Iron by Tricia Levenseller. A Twisted Tale Anthology edited by Elizabeth Lim. When You Wish Upon a Star by Elizabeth Lim. The Sword of Light and the Spear of Truth by Caroline Logan. These are the last two novels in the Four Treasures novel, which are also indie. The Cruelest Mercy and the Sweetest Betrayal by Natalie May, the final two books in the Kinder Poison trilogy. Shroud for a Bride and The King in the Tower and Other Stories by Kendra Merritt. These are novels and novellas in the Mark of the Least series by Kendra. Rainbow Valley and Rilla of Ingleside by Ellen Montgomery. Yes, it's been years since I started my long read of all of the Anna Green Gables book and still haven't finished. Soul of Stars by Ashley Poston. This is the sequel to Heart of Iron. Legacy of Light by Sarah Roffley. This is the third book in the Effigies trilogy. The Husky and His White Cat Shizen by Robao Buchiro, which is the second volume. 10,000 Thorns by Susanna Rowantree. This is the last one I need to read for the Fairy Tale Retold miniseries. Bands of Mourning and the Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson, the final two in Second Era of Mistborn. Journey to the Heart of the Abyss by London Shaw. This is the sequel to Light at the Bottom of the World. The Song Rising and the Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. These are books 3 and 4 in the Bone season. Gleanings by Neil Schusterman. These are all little stories from Arc of a Scythe. Oaths of Legacy by Emily Skrutsky. This is the second book in the Bloodright trilogy. Draw Dead, Deuces Are Wild, and Odds Against by O.E. Tierman, which are books 5, 6, and 7 to Aces High, Joker's Wild. This is an indie series. The Gay Teen's Guide to Defeating a Siren, book 2, The Siren, and book 3, Sanctuary by Cody Wagner. This is an indie series. New World Ashes by Jennifer Wilson. This is book 2 in the New World Rising trilogy, also an indie. The Beast Warrior by Nahoko Uehashi, which is the second book in the Beast Player duology. Searching for Dragons, Calling on Dragons, and Talking to Dragons by Patricia C. Reedy. And rounding out our series, we have The Scum Villain Self-Saving System Volumes 2, 3, and 4 by Mo Shang Tong Shu. Alright, moving on to all the small little babies I have. A Slaughter of Angels and the Dark Night of the Soul by Matthew Angelo. These are indies. The City Inside by Samit Basu. The Sisters of Stray Garden Place by Haley Chewins. The Keeper 6 by Kate Elliott. Wait Till Helen Comes by Mary Downing Hahn. Good Bird by Nathan Harms. Overlord Brawl by L.A. Johnson. William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Mean Girls by Ian Desher. Zara Hossein Is Here by Sabina Khan. Switch by A.S. King. Dienvek by Carolyn Kay with art by Chaz Kemp. This is an indie. The novelization of Ever After the movie by Wendy Logia. Sold by Patricia McCormick. The Lives of the Ajungo by Moses Ose Utomi. A Game of Fox and Squirrels by Jen Reese. The Bewilderness by Ben Reeves. This is an indie. Novelizations of Jim Henson's The Storyteller, Labyrinth, and The Dark Crystal. This one is written by Anthony Minghella, and these two are by A.C.H. Smith. Dead Wednesday by Jerry Spinelli. Romani Red Stripped by Cindy Summer. This is also an indie. Cracked Up to Be by Courtney Summers. Servant Mage by Kate Elliott. Chef's Kiss by Jarrett Melendez, Danica Brine, Hank Jones, and Hassan Otsman Elhau. The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich by Dea Muniz. Devout, an Anthology of Angels, edited by Quinton Lee. This is an indie. Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Jomny Sun. Silver in the Wood by Emily Tesh. The Memory Theater by Karen Titbeck. Samurai Rising, The Epic Life of Minamoto Yoshitsune by Pamela S. Turner and illustrated by Gareth Hines. The Pellucid Witch and Daughter of Agonies by G. Owen Weirs. These are both indies. And hilariously, The Book of Kel's Official Guide by Bernard Meehan. Polgara the Sorceress by David and Lee Eddings. Lady Hotspur by Tessa Grattan. Malice by John Gwynn. In the Serpent's Wake by Rachel Hartman. The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. Pride and Prejudice, the scenes Jane Austen never wrote by the Austen Authors Collective. The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. The Undermining of Twyla and Frank by Megan Bannon. Kindling by Tracy Chee. Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. My Salty Mary by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. The Will of the Many by James Islington. Ani by S.J. Jones. Blood of the Old Kings by Sung Il Kim. The Wren and the Holly Library by K.A. Lindy. I Spade You, an Asexual Anthology, edited by Bones McKay. This is an indie. Ballad of Sword and Wine by Chang Jingju. Fate Be Changed by Farah Rashan. Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis. Spin of Fate by A.A. Vora. The Gifted Society by Tatiana White. This is an indie. Heaven Breaker by Sarah Wolfe. Sweet Nightmare by Tracy Wolfe. She Who Rides the Storm by Caitlin Sangster. Starbringer by Tracy Wolfe and Nina Croft. The First Binding by R.R. Virdi, the longest book on my shelves currently. Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. Not Your Average Hot Guy by Gwenda Bond. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Haunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton. These are the books that I'm going to do the Thirsty vlogs for, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. Vampire Hearts and Other Dead Things by Margie Fuston. Fortuna Sworn and Restless Slumber by K.J. Sutton. These are both indies. We are moving into our gifted shelf right now. The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. Noni and the God Tree by Brescia Anglin. Alatsoe by Darcy Little Badger. Warrior Girl Unearthed by Angeline Booley. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Zoraida Cordova. The Gentleman's Book of Vices by Jess Everly. A Vermilion Curse by D.C. Guevara. The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. Most Ardently by Gabe Cole Novoa. Adorkable by Cookie O'Gorman, Angels and Man by Raphael Nicholas, A Forgery of Roses by Jessica S. Olson, Blaze Wrath Games by Amparo Ortiz. This was actually a Goodreads giveaway that I won. They Left Magic in Their Wake by Marilyn Peake, The City Beautiful by Aidan Polidoros, The Bones of Ruin by Sarah Roffley, Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed, The Poison Season by Mara Rutherford, Red Shirts by John Scalzi, Camp Zero by Michelle Min Sterling, The Magnolia Sword by Sherry Thomas, Liches Get Stitches by H.J. Tolson, this is an indie, Witch King by Martha Wells, Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver, The Golem and the Ginny by Helene Wecker, and Revenant X by David Wellington. Moving on to indies, Thief by J.D. Hilton, Phantom and Rook by Alina Isaac, Pirates of Eleutheria by Brittany Jackson, The Oat Project by Janae Jackson, The Finding by Jenna Elizabeth Johnson, Dead End Drive by Ian Kirkpatrick, Wrought of Silver and Ravens by E.J. Kitchens, Master of Salt and Bones by Carrie Lake, The Matilda by John Gray Lang, Wolf's Pawn and the Marquessa's Necklace by P.J. McLean, different series, Seeds by Chris Mandeville, and The Sun Goeth Down by Terry Mark, The Mendelevian Oracle by Robin McFadden, this is a non-fiction about a tarot card that she made, Deathless Beast by Andrew D. Meredith, Mystillion, Mayfair, and Red Sands by I.A. Mullen, A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner, The Strange and Savage Life of a Brass Key Journalist by Aaron Spriggs and Brian Kaufman, Shiloh by Helena Sorensen, Bitter Medicine by Mia Tsai, Earth's Etheric Aegis Book 1, The White Mantle by Valora Venn, Of Feathers and Thorns by Kit Vincent, The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang, Cosplay Cupid and Level Up by Alicia Wilder, Fae Queries by Zia Williams McKean, Bitter Souls by L.A. Morton Yates, The Triplets by Nicole M. Davis, Song and Flame by Stella Dorthwani, Miss Landon and Auburnale by Charlotte E. English, Good Boy Ben by V.P. Femley, Over the Broad Earth, Volume 1 by J.L. Feuerstack, The Cryptid Catcher by Elijah Fisher, Brotherhood of Blood, City of the Dreaded God, and Rise of the Green Temple by Joe Fontana. This is a complete trilogy. Prince of the Sorrows by Kellen Graves, Wake of the Phoenix by Chelsea Harper, Tokyo Blood Magic by Travis Heerman, rest in peace, Minimum Safe Distance by X Ho Yen, Viridian Gate Online Cataclysm by J.A. Hunter, Gunmetal Gods by Zamil Akhtar, The Coward by Stephen Arion, The Persuasion of Miss Kate by Kathleen Baldwin, Scales and Sensibility by Stephanie Burgess, My Cat's Guide to Online Dating by Christian Baines, The Last Luminian by S.G. Blaze, Master of Sorrows by Justin T. Call, Feralia by Clint Casa, Bowtie, Iron from the Sky, and Hallowed Promises by W.J. Cherf. These two are in the same series. This is in a different series. And The Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. All right, moving on to the subscription books that we're keeping. AITA by Cassie Alexander, Book of Night by Holly Black, The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker, Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Berwa, Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow, Wings of Ebony by J.L., A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, Threads That Bind by Kika Hatsupolo, The God and the Gumiho by Sophie Kim, Sorcery and Small Magics by Maiga Ducey, Forged by Blood by Ehebor Oksun, A Taste of Golden Iron by Alexandra Rowland, If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun, The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle, The Temptation of Magic by Megan Scott, The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song, Evocation by S.T. Gibson, The Girl with No Reflection by Keshi Chow, The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart, Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan, The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shield, The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers, Darker by 4 by June C. L. Tam, Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb, Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucier, The Initial Insult by Mindy McGinnis, Godly Heathens by H.E. Edgman, Curse of the Spectre Queen by Jenny Elder Moak, Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan, House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters, A Daughter of the Trolls by Mackenzie Ketron, Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez, The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin, The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones, The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker, Piranesi by Susanna Clark, and A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. Moving into everybody else at this point. These are going to be duologies, trilogies, series, and standalones, some classics. That's what we've got remaining. Wildbound by Elaine Audrey Becker, The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buhlman, The City of Lost Fortunes by Brian Camp, This Is Not the Jess Show by Anna Carey, Princess of Souls by Alexandra Christo, Omen of Ice by Yus Accardo, Lake's Edge and Forest Fall by Lyndall Clipstone, Crown Chasers by Rebecca Coffindaffer, Jurassic Park and The Lost World by Michael Crichton. And I will never be taking off this border sticker. Oh my god, what a relic. The Witch King by H.E. Edgman, Ashes of Gold by J.L. This is an ARC copy. Merkmere by Patricia Elliott. The Daughters of Izdahar by Hadir Elspy. A Rule Book for Restless Rogues by Jess Everly. Something Fabulous by Alexis Hall. Fly by Night by Frances Harding. The Gospel of Loki by Joanne M. Harris. The Buried and the Bound by Rochelle Hassan. Strike the Zither by Joan He. Unseelie by Evilise Hausman. Dare Mighty Things and One Giant Leap by Heather Kaczynski. More Than We Can Tell by Bridget Kemmerer. The Last Laugh by Mindy McGinnis. Night Render by Jody Meadows. Ignite the Stars by Maura Milan. Son of the Storm by Suyi Davies Okungboa. These Feathered Flames by Alexandra Overy. Anya and the Dragon by Sophia Pasternak. Garden of the Curse by Katie Rose Poole. The Watchmaker of Filigree Street by Natasha Pulley. Dactyl Hill Squad and Dactyl Hill Squad Freedom Fire by Daniel Jose Older. The Assassination of Brangwyn Spurge by M.T. Anderson and Eugene Yelchin. The Weight of Our Sky by Hannah Alcaff. The Blackbird Girls by Anne Blankman. The Republic of Birds by Jessica Miller. Unseen Magic by Emily Lloyd Jones. Before the Sword by Grace Lynn. Out of Range by Heidi Lang. Shinji Takahashi and the Mark of the Coatl. Shinji Takahashi Into the Heart of the Storm by Julie Kagawa. The Evolution of Calpurnia Tate by Jacqueline Kelly. A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton. The Verdigris Pawn by Elisa Wishingrad. Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor by Shiranje Zhao. Slowly but surely we're getting there, yeah. I'm just going to show you this shelf. This is the Tolkien shelf. All the Tolkiens. Complete Collections Volume 1 of The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Sanditon by Jane Austen. A Hero Born, A Bond Undone, and A Snake Lies Waiting by Jin Yong. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz Mina Lima Edition by L. Frank Baum. Snow White and Other Grimm Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. Mina Lima Edition. The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. The Tenserate series by Neon Yang. The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the comic version by Mo Shantong Shu. Fun fact, I bought those on accident because I thought I was getting The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the novelization by Mo Shantong Shu. Heaven Official's Blessing by Mo Shantong Shu. Rebel Rose by Emma Theriault. Pride and Puppies by Lizzie Shane. Remnants of Filth by Rovao Bochiro. Enemy of the World by Road Warrior. Thousand Autumns by Meng Shishi. We've got a ton of Discworlds, alright? We've got The Color of Magic, Small Gods, We Free Men, The Light Fantastic, The Shepherd's Crown, A Hat Full of Sky, I Shall Wear at Midnight, and Wintersmith. The Girl from the Other Side, Volumes 1 and 2 by Nagabe. The High Mountain Court by A.K. Mulford. Prince of Song and Sea and Prince of Thorn and Nightmares by Lindsay Miller. Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb. Broken Wish by Julie C. Dow. Timekeeper and Chainbreaker by Tara Sim. Everlost by Neil Schusterman. Steelheart, Firefight, and Calamity by Brandon Sanderson. The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. Forged in Fire and Stars and Cast in Secrets and Shadow by Andrea Robson. A Million Suns and Shades of Earth by Beth Revis. Heart of Flames and Wings of Shadow by Nikki Pau Preto. All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee. Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. Swords Point by Ellen Kushner. The Extraordinaries by T.J. Klune. Assassin's Apprentice and Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Belle Morte by Bella Higgin. The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. The Vor and the Erstwhile by B. Catling. The Infinity Courts by Akemi Don Bowman. In Every Generation. One Girl in All the World by Kindara Blake. The Complete Modern Fairy Tales by Holly Black. The Initiation by Chris Babu. The Wren Hunt by Mary Watson. Well, That Was Unexpected by Jessie Q. Sutanto. Lament and Ballad by Maggie Stiefvater. The Watcher's Test and the Broken Halo by Hamish Steele. Cloak of Night by Evelyn Skye. I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast Is Me by Jameson Shea. Blood Like Magic and Blood Like Fate by Lizelle Sambury. Night of the Witch by Sarah Roche and Beth Revis. Night Birds by Kate J. Armstrong. Together We Rot by Skyla Arndt. Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell. The Bird and the Blade by Megan Bannon. Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bachardouz. How It All Blew Up by Arvin Amadi. Here There Are Monsters by Amalinda Berube. All the Truth That's in Me by Julie Berry. Don't Call It a Cult by Sarah Berman. City of the Uncommon Thief by Lynn Bertrand. A Show for Two by Tashi Buyan. Wild Blood by Lauren Blackwood. The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovolino. The Real Deal by Lauren Blakely. Eternally Yours, edited by Patrice Caldwell. Unchosen by Catherine Blair. When You Wish Upon a Lantern by Gloria Chow. The Ghost Bride by Yang Ji Chu. Disorientation by Elaine Se Cho. Edgewood by Kristen Ciccarelli. My Fine Fellow by Jenny Eka Cohen. The Girl from Shadow Springs by Ellie Cipher. The Tangleroot Palace by Marjorie Liu. A Faux Love Story by Lone Le. To Sir with Love by Lauren Lane. The The Clergyman's Wife by Molly Greeley, Chaos and Flame by Tessa Grattan and Justina Ireland, The Spectators by Jennifer Dubois, The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst, 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston, A Wilderness of Stars by Shay Earnshaw, The Counterclockwise Heart by Brian Ferry, What We Harvest by Anne Frestat, Cuckoo Song and The Lie Tree, both by Frances Harding, these are both standalones, The Mere Wife by Maria Devana Headley, Horseman by Christina Henry, The Coming Storm by Regina M. Hansen, Catfish Rolling by Clara Kumagai, When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry, The Corpse Queen by Heather M. Herman, Daughters of Sparta by Claire Haywood, Queen Bee by Amelie Howard, A Complicated Love Story Set in Space by Sean David Hutchinson, A Million to One by Adiba Jai Girdar, Empress of All Seasons by Emiko Jean, Kisses and Croissants by Anne-Sophie Johannou, Out of the Blue by Jason June, Kiss and Tell by Adib Khorram, Walking in Two Worlds by Wab Kinu, Mad and Bad, Real Heroines of the Regency by B. Koch, The List of Unspeakable Fears by J. Casper Kramer, Teeth in the Mist by Don Kurtagich, Briarheart by Mercedes Lackey, A People's Future of the United States, edited by Victor Lavelle and John Joseph Adams, So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lucan, The Hive by Barry Liga and Morgan Baden, Our Last Echoes by Kate Alice Marshall, More Than Just a Pretty Face by Syed M. Masood, We Can Be Heroes by Kiri McCauley, Marilla of Green Gables by Sarah McCoy, Rainbow in the Dark by Sean McGinty, Miss Meteor by Taylor K. Mejia and Anna Marie Miclemore, The Cleaving by Juliet E. McKenna, The Book of Gothel by Mary McMine, Act Cool by Toby McSmith, Mirror Girls by Kelly McWilliams, Into the Heartless Wood by Joanna Ruth Meyer, Serendipity edited by Marissa Meyer, The City and the City by China Mieville, Belle Revolte by Lindsay Miller, The Library of Shadows by Rachel Moore, The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill by Rowena Miller, The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris, Splinters of Scarlet by Emily Bain Murphy, Rogue Princess by B.R. Myers, We Were Restless Things by Cole Nagamatsu, Live, Laugh, Kidnap by Gabby Noon, Ithaca by Claire North, Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica S. Olson, Unequal Affections by Laura S. Ormiston, Stalking Shadows by Sila Pannon, Drizzle Dreams and Love-Struck Things by Maya Prasad, Accomplished by Amanda Quain, Rise of the Vicious Princess by C.J. Redwine, Dark Room Etiquette by Robin Rowe, The Ghosts of Rose Hill by R.M. Romero, Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis, Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth, Young and Damned and Fair, The Life of Catherine Howard, Fifth Wife of King Henry VIII, The Ship of Dreams, The Sinking of the Titanic and the End of the Edwardian Era, both by Gareth Russell, The Way Back by Gavriel Savit, Starter Villain by John Scalzi, The Unexpected Miss Bennet by Patrice Sarath, Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland, Queen Hereafter by Isabel Schuler, Lock-In by John Scalzi, The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schultz, Buy the Book by Amanda Salette, 10 Minutes, 38 Seconds in This Strange World by Elif Shafak, Midnight Strikes by Ziba Shahnaz, The Splendor by Brianna Shields, You Can Go Your Own Way by Eric Smith, Ravel by Lissa Mia Smith, Damsel by Evelyn Skye, Fire with Fire by Destiny Soraya, As Far as You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper, The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling, Iron Cast by Destiny Soria, I probably pronounced that wrong the first time, The 99 Boyfriends of Micah Summers by Adam Saff, The Obsession by Jesse Q. Sutanto, The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton, The Waking Forest by Alyssa Weed, Ghost Wood Song by Erica Water, Dark Archives, A Librarian's Investigation into the Science and History of Books Bound in Human Skin by Megan Rosenblum, A Rush of Wings and a Consuming Fire, both by Laura E. Weymouth, Mr. Magic by Kirsten White, Love and Other Alien Experiences by Carrie Winfrey, Right Where I Left You by Julian Winters, Ace Voices, What It Means to Be Asexual, A Romantic Demi or Grey Ace by Eris Young, Grey Mist Fair by Francesca Zappia. Finally, Red Clocks by Lenny Zumas. The last shelf down here is my current bomb books that I haven't read yet, but I'm hoping to finish them before this video comes out, so, shh. There you have it. That's who survived. I don't know how many books that is, but we started from here, and we went down to here. Huzzah. Still a lot, I know, but that's a big weight off my shoulders. That's kind of like the running TBR for 2025. So if any of those books you saw there, A, if I pronounced the author's name wrong, please correct me, because a lot of them I don't know. And B, if you've read it and you're like, that's an amazing book, I need to read it right now, you can put that in the comments, or you can commission me to read it right the heck now on my Ko-fi page. You can also throw them into the viewer pool, because there are still viewer pool suggestions and stuff happening. But yeah, that's the current physical TBR. The rest are on Pango. Have at 'em. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, cuties. Bye. The Cruelest Mercy? Metal by Fortuna Sworn and Restless Slumber. Shiloh by Shiloh by Helena. Oh my God. Rebel Roll. Blood Like Magic and Blood Like Flate. Alexandra. We're going down. Oh my God, come out.